Alright, so welcome back to part 6 of the IKORIA spoilers, ranking and review video series that I am doing. And I mean, you know what's going on, we can just get straight into it. And I will say, starting to get into some fuck shit with this set. Really, like, the past days spoilers, what the fuck is going on? But, right, like, first card. Hey, so before we get on with the rest of the video, if you could consider liking the video, commenting the video, subscribing if you enjoyed it and hitting the bell icon, and also you could follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you enjoy magic memes, and also follow us on Twitch where you get to watch videos like this happen live. So yeah, let's just get on with it. So this card isn't really one of the fucked cards, but this is a 5 mana, 5/5 legendary elemental elk creature, and it is 4 and a gruel. So either a red or a green to cast. And it's also a companion card, so it's like no card in your starting deck has more than one of the same mana symbol in its mana cost. I can't really work out what that means. Simply because I just don't even understand how that's even like achievable. Like, it's certainly, you're never going to do that in standard, and when it comes to commander, I guess, that just seems even less possible, so whatever, I mean, this effect, irrelevant. Point is, it is a mana dork that taps for 5 mana. And that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if a legendary 5 mana dork is worth it. However, obviously, in ramp, you can bring this out turn 3. And at that point, you go, right, well, turn 3, this is a huge push. And it's not super susceptible to removal. But by that point, surely, you know, you want to be spending that 5 mana on, like, a bigger push gameplay-wise. I guess we'll kind of see. There'll definitely be some jank based around this. But I think we can safely put this card probably in B tier, honestly. This card obviously has some kind of application. And, I mean, at the very least, as much as it's not a real format, it is pretty good in Commander. So, I think this can go straight into B. It's way too good an effect to not be B. Whilst also realistically not being that difficult to cast. It is just 5 mana, that's it. So now we have Dusk Mentor, and this is, like, it's one of the Mentor cards, like we were talking about yesterday, so it's a 3 mana black, 1/3 human monk creature, 2 and a black to cast, and when it enters battlefield, put a lifelink counter on target non-human creature you control, tap it, pay a black, 1 and a black, and put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with lifelink. Again, this just is nowhere near as good as, like, giving something First Strike or Death Touch. You know, like I said, Lifelink and Vigilance are kind of the weakest ones of this sort of thing because, you know, they can't net you any kind of advantage. Haste and Trample being kind of like mid. First Strike, Death Touch, obviously going to be better. And it'll be interesting to see if those Mentors actually end up costing more. You could argue that this could see a space in, like, Orzhov life gain, but it would have to be objectively better than what mono white life gain does, because those decks basically have the same win condition. So unless you can compete with that and make it better, this card just doesn't have a place. I think it just goes into C. Alright, so next we have the first of the Ultimatum cards that we'll be talking about that comes out in this set. And these are 7 mana sorceries, 7 mana 3 color sorceries. And this specific one is 2 black, 3 green, 2 blue to cast. And it says, search your library for up to 3 monocolored cards with different names. Exile them. An opponent chooses one of those cards. Shuffle that card into your library. And then you can cast the other 2, or 1 I guess, without paying the mana costs. And then you exile this card. So, all these cards are, like, kind of extremely fucked. Like, you give your opponent the choice of, like, what? Bolas, Citadel, Nissa, Omniscience. Like, how do you really pick? But at the same time, like, for 7 mana, it is kind of worth it. And especially with certain colours, if it has green in it, 7 mana doesn't mean anything. This coming out turn 4. Like, that's all 7 mana means. I can definitely see Sultai, if you can ramp right, getting this out. Bringing this out turn 4 is going to be devastating. It's just straight up, like, automatic win the game button. And that's, I guess, what these cards are meant to do. However, in Standard, there's so much ramp that I am so incredibly not looking forward to play against these cards. People are like, it's so dumb, right? People are going, oh, the unplayable rares, unplayable rares. Bro, people are playing Agent of Treachery. That's a 7 mana guy. This is better than that. So, I don't even want to think about it, man. I don't even want to think about it. So, Emergent Ultimatum, I think we can safely put all the Ultimatum cards in A, and they will see play. If people are playing fucking Casualties of War, people will play these cards, okay? So they're going straight into A tier. I mean, some are going to be a little more A than others, but frankly, all these cards just immediately win the game. I mean, right, maybe B, maybe like high B, because perhaps they won't completely like alter the shape, like, you know, the face of the meta entirely. I guess we'll see, but there is one Ultimatum that I'm definitely putting in A, by the way. So next is Ariel Ultimatum, and yeah, I think this one might probably definitely be an A because it's fucked. It's just fucked. So this is Abzan colours, so it's like 2 white, 3 black, and 2 green to cast. Again, it's a sorcery, and this one doesn't exile itself, by the way. So return any number of permanent cards with different names from your graveyard to the library. So if anything, doesn't matter. So this card's just insane. Mill yourself a little bit. Get to 7 mana, win the game. This is way better than the other one because, like, the other one, your opponent has like a choice. Your opponent doesn't get a choice in this. You build your deck around this, and then you just fire a Boris Citadel and a Nissa and whatever the fuck else you want onto board, and that's you. That's all you need to give a shit about. Bearing in mind, by the way, that you can play Dryad, and then this just becomes all green. It doesn't matter, like... Dryad just makes these 7 mana green cards. And that's terrifying. That is terrifying. Yeah, this card is insane. This is absolutely going in A. I don't see why people won't be making decks based around these cards. I really, really don't. They're definitely going to be a lot of fun to play, without a doubt. But just wait till the next Ultimatum. That's so terrifying. But next on the list before we get to that is Song of Creation, and that is a 4 mana, 1 and Temur colours enchantment, and you may play an additional land on each of your turns. Interesting, Dryad effect. And whenever you cast a spell, draw 2 cards, so also fucked, and then at the beginning of your end step, discard your hand. So I can definitely see how this is balanced. I think you can definitely make some kind of deck based around this. I think it really ties into Temur Adventure quite well because you have all the adventure cards from Exile that you can still cast and then they draw you cards. Is this better than Escape to the Wild? I think it might be a little bit, yes, because Escape to the Wild, it just lasts that one like amount of time, and you only get the one chance to play an extra land. But obviously you need to definitely play around this card. But I think this card's really, really cool, and there's a lot of cards like this where it's 4 mana enchantments that allow you to play the game very differently, kind of the way Fires allows you to play the game differently. Here's the thing though, are these cards going to be objectively better than how Fires works? Fires is insane, and I don't see how decks can really get much better than how they function already, but at the very least, it's going to be fun to try out. So, Song Creation, I think we can safely say, is definitely a B card, absolutely. There's no way you could really justify putting any lower than that. Which is good, like, this is nice that we get to fill the list up with some more Bs, because there wasn't really been very many Bs over the last few spoiler videos. Next we've got Saurons Howlbonder, which is a 3 mana 2/2 human warrior creature, and it's 1 and 1 in Rakdos to cast. And it has Menace, so 3 mana 2/2 with Menace. Each creature you control with Menace can't be blocked except by 3 or more creatures. Now, this I think is kind of interesting because they're trying to push these sort of like keyword tribal decks, of which this I feel can actually be one of the better ones, especially some kind of like aggro deck. 3 mana, it does make this a little bit expensive, especially when you could be just playing an Annex for 3 mana, so whether this will be used or not, yet to see. But of all the cards with these sorts of effects that we've seen so far, this one, as far as I'm aware, is the best one. In saying that, I mean, Annex isn't necessarily game, but this definitely could be. So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of see. I really don't think that Menace Tribal is going to make any kind of appearance, but this is at the very least a nice C card that can go snugly in C, and will probably make like good kind of like intro decks for standard. Like it's probably a good place to start off, that kind of thing, you know, pretty cheap. Now, in conjunction with the last card, we've got another Mentor, this being the Menace Mentor, and it's basically the exact same as other ones. It is a 3 mana, 3/2 human warrior. When it enters battlefield, put a Menace counter on a non-human creature you own, and you can pay 2 and a red, and then put a 1/1 on each creature you control with Menace. This is definitely one of the better ones as far as I'm concerned, because Menace is actually a good keyword, as opposed to Lifelink, which is a bad keyword. However, you know, putting a Menace counter on, like, say, a Dreadhold Butcher or something, that's kind of nice. That's devastating, to be fair, but I don't see, like, Menace Dreadhorde Tribal being a thing, and these effects are so underwhelming. Like, I get that if you have, like, a whole bunch of shit with Menace, this ends up becoming a big problem, but it just seems kind of expensive, to me, anyway. But yeah, the Menace one's, like, it's still C, but it's more of a C than other ones. You know what I mean? Like, I would play this over the other ones, but they're basically the same as the other ones. Weird that, innit? So, Narset is back in an incredibly underwhelming way, as far as I'm concerned. So, we've got a 4 mana Narset Planeswalker, which starts with 4 loyalty, and it's 1 and Jeskai colours to cast. I think I'd probably just rather be casting Fires of Invention at that point, but its uptick is you gain 2 life, add like one of the Jeskai colours to your mana pool. Like, that's nice, sure, but you can only use it to cast a non-creature spell. Still fine. It's like, it is what it is. It's like, so it's kind of like a Domri effect, because like Domri essentially has the same thing. However, Domri's 3 mana. Let's just bear that in mind. Its down tick for 2 is draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, Narset of the Ancient Way deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to target creature or planeswalker. So, don't get me wrong, like, I love that its down tick is like a kind of draw and like removal thing. I think that's really cool, but I don't think it's that great. Like, it's good. Do not get me wrong, this is very good, but I just don't see this destroying the meta. And then its ultimate is obviously irrelevant, because when do you ever ultimate planeswalkers, but you get an emblem with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this emblem deals 2 damage to any target. It's also not that good an emblem. It's so strange because I'm so used to seeing absolutely busted bonkers planeswalkers, and then we get one that's actually kind of alright. And I'm just like, it is what it is, bro. The thing is though, is this card is still definitely an A tier. It's just, in fact, so I think this is back to high B. I just do not see this card seeing like consistent standard play or in any format. Really, there's lots of people going off their nut about Narset EDH decks. Who gives a fuck? Next companion card, and again, it's completely uncastable as a companion, but this is 1 and Celestion at cast, and it is a 3/2 legendary cat beast creature with vigilance. And each other creature you control, that's a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast, gets +1/1 and has vigilance. So, I quite like this. The companion thing is, of all the companions, this is absolutely the easiest one to cast, despite what I said. But each creature card in your starting deck is a cat, elemental, nightmare, dinosaur, or beast card. That's like super achievable. And then, you know, you can just lord it in for potentially turn 2. And then you just bang, everything's getting boosted and has vigilance. That's kind of nice. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. I could definitely see like some kind of like stompy beatdown deck with this card, and it would be kind of fun for sure. It's not like the greatest thing, but this is definitely a B card. Do not get me wrong. I just don't see it being like quite competitive enough. But the fact that this is good enough that you can just straight up like base your deck around casting this, I think that's all right. So yeah, simply because like, you know, the companion is like even better, this gets to go into B. I think it's a very cool card, and I like the fact that it's finally there's a companion that's somewhat achievable in the deck that it's trying to go in. So again, we've got some more pack filler, which is just a 2 mana 2/2 human cleric, 1 and a white to cast. Whenever you cycle a card, you gain 1 life, and it's got a cycling 1 of itself. It's like perhaps just like there'll be a deck based around having tons of like just like 1 mana cycle cards. But aside from that, it just is what it is. It's just a like what C tier, D tier, probably D tier to be honest. It just doesn't really do anything. That's what D stands for. This card doesn't really do anything. Again, some more pack filler. We just have like a 3 mana 1/1 that comes in. It's got vigilance, sure, but like 3 mana, like colorless or not, that's like kind of really poor. And when it enters battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your library. That's just kind of underwhelming. Man, see if it just like put it on the field tapped, that'd be like really cool. I just really wish we had Elvish, I think it's Elvish Rejuvenator, whatever the one it is that you play and it searches the land. I just wish we had that back in Standard. Well, at this current Standard, I actually hope we don't have that, but I really enjoy playing that card regardless, is more the point. But again, this is just another D card that's not going to see play, and it is what it is. It's fine, like not every card needs to be good. Because then when you do get to good cards, oh fuck, right. Anybody that says this card isn't insane, you're talking out your fucking arse. Anyone that says this card isn't insane, you're talking out your fucking dick, because destroy all non... Well, finally, it's a one-sided board wipe that I get to see in Standard, and just all non-land permanents. Cool, so with Casualties of War, you have to like make an informed decision on how you're going to play your turn. Nah, you don't need to give a single fuck. And again, you can play this in anything. If you can play this in green with Dryad. Play Dryad, now all my mana taps for any colour. So then I just go, to play this, board wipe. Tamio, add it back. Oh, just wipe your board again. This card's fucked. I mean, admittedly, sure they can get rid of Dryad, but I'm just kind of making a point that this card is insane and is absolutely going to be seen play. I don't care what anybody says. This is absolutely seeing play. If Casualties of War sees play, this is seeing play. So when it comes to Ruinous Ultimatum, frankly, I'm putting this in A tier. I'm putting it in A, and I'll be damned if anybody says this card isn't absolutely insane. Yet another companion card on this today's drop, and it is 1 and Boros to cast, and it is a legendary elemental fox creature that's got 3/3. And its companion is each permanent card in your starting deck has an activated ability. So I'm not really sure what the difference between activated ability, like I get it, but that seems like really easy to accomplish. Anyway, though, abilities you activate that aren't mana abilities cost 2 less to activate. This I don't really understand, because surely, like, if it isn't a mana ability, why would it matter if it's 2 less to activate? Surely it would abilities you activate that are mana abilities. Like, I do not understand this. This effect can't reduce the mana to less than 1, and then it also just randomly can make something not block for the turn. But I don't know if someone can like fill me in on this. Like, how the fuck does this work? Because again, why are you reducing something that shouldn't have a cost anyway? Now, like, immediately off the gate, however, just like people are saying that cycling counts for this, but cycling costs mana, so I don't fucking understand. But this does reduce the cycle cost for things, so you can just like cycle forever. So that's pretty cool. Again, I don't really understand how it doesn't reduce the cycle cost. I don't get it, but if it does what it's saying it does, then that's pretty good. Like, this is fairly easy to accomplish because you can just put tons of cycle cards in your deck. I don't know if it really matters so much about Companion in this, but it's a free card. So yeah, I think this card can't be not at least a B, for sure. Yeah, another very good card to add to this current drop. Like, today's been insane. So now we've got Offspring's Revenge. This is a very interesting card. So it is 5 mana, and it's 2 and then Mardu to cast. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, exile target red, white, or black creature from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of that card, except as a 1/1, and it gains haste until your next turn. Now, this is very interesting because it's very reminiscent of Nightmare Shepherd. Except I can see this being in like a Mardu Aristocrats deck, like super easily. 5 mana's kinda costly, but you're gaining so much advantage off of this. What, so you can like sack your own priestess to like another priestess and then bring it back, and then it has haste, and then you can use its effect immediately. That's kind of good. It always brings back like sack fodder for priest, or brings back cruel celebrants. This card is really, really good. If this was 4 mana, it would be so incredibly much better. I don't even think it'd be that much more busted, because again, Nightmare Shepherd is kind of basically the same thing. Again, I get this is like another B enchantment for sure. It's definitely usable. It'll be nice to build a deck around this. A lot of fun for sure. And again, it's just another card on this list that is B. Today has been fucking insane. So we have another pack filler, Almighty Brushwag, which is 1 mana 1/1 for green, and it's got trample, and you can pay 4 to give it +3/3 to end the turn. Which, like, this card is actually not terrible, because like this becomes like some insane late game bomb. Because you just dump all the mana into it and just fucking attack with it, and it's got trample. So I think this card is really, really funny. And definitely, like, it's definitely C tier. It's probably fairly okay in limited. So now I've got another kind of interesting mutate card. So it's a 3 mana mutate, and it's So we've got another mutate card, which is cool, and it's Necropanther, which is a 3 mana 3/3 cat nightmare creature, and it's 1 and white and a black to cast. So that's okay. It's got a 4 mana mutate, so probably want to use this as the base, but it makes sense because whenever this creature mutates, return target creature card with a converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, I think that's really, really cool. Return Croxa after you mutate. There's so much that realistically makes sense with this. Let's think. So for one, you know, you'd obviously play in like Mire Triton or something. You mill yourself a little bit. Oh, you mill one of these, you mutate one of these, and then you bring back another one, and then you can keep mutating that. There's tons of shit that you can do here, and I think that's pretty cool. And because it's Orzhov colours, this kind of works with like Cat Oven. So like, oh, sack it off and get some kind of effect, and then mutate this, and then bring it back. That's not bad. I can definitely see this card being used. You know, I'm feeling a strong C to a light B on this one. So we're on to the last 4, and this card's called One of Mind, and it is a 3 mana blue sorcery, 2 and a blue to cast. And this spell costs 2 less to cast if you control a human creature and a non-human creature. Draw 2 cards. So considering the sort of draw power that we already have in standard, like a 1 mana draw 2 is obviously really, really good, but you don't want it to have quite as many restrictions as this has. It's like a really good limited draw card, but I'm just not feeling this one. I think this is really C tier because the restrictions on like this is like take Charter Course for an example. This, like, that card was like so sick, and this is just not on the same level as Charter Course. Not that every card has to be, but like I'm just, it's a C draw, and normally the draw cards are really, really good recently, but it's just kind of is what it is. Third last card, we've got Fire Prophecy, which is, I think this is pretty cool actually. So it's 2 mana red instant, and it deals 3 damage to target creature, and then you can put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library, and if you do, draw a card. I actually think this card is really, really good. You know, for something like, you know, Is It or whatever, you just get like rid of like a redundant thing, and then you can draw a new card, cycle some stuff. I can actually see this legitimately seeing like an amount of play. I quite like the art for it as well. I think I can say this is a pretty high C. Like, this is a usable card, like, for sure. Like, I feel like I'd be way more inclined to play this than like other red removal cards, just because the cycling effect is like so useful. So next we're on to Cat Sovereign. This card is like, I really feel like this could have been uncommon. It's hilarious and cool, so it goes straight into Azorius Flyers, I suppose. But even then, I think there's still just better options. But it is a 2 mana 1/1 flying elemental cat, and it says gets +1/1 for each other creature you control with flying, and you can pay 4 mana to create a 1/1 white cat bird creature token with flying. So that's like, it's not terrible, but at the same time, I think there's just better options for what it does. like a 2-mana flying like semi. It's not. It's like a kind of like it's like the opposite of a lord. Yeah, I'm just not feeling this. Like, yeah, like, so here's the thing. You make a deck that has like a whole bunch of flyers and like you pump this up, but this in of itself is like super like massive removal target, and you're not really like, it takes a lot of effort to be able to get that much out of it. So it's a C tier rare for sure. Still not quite D tier rare. There's only one D tier rare so far. And so for the last card on this set, I think it's hilarious because we just have a burn spell and trample, and it's legitimately just super duper death ray. I wish they just stuck to it and just kept it trample, but it is what it is. No fun allowed. But it's a 3-mana instant that deals 4 damage to target creature, and then the excess damage is dealt to that creature's controller instead. It's like, it is what it is. You think I would still given that it's like a 4 damage to the target creature, I think that I would still just rather play Lava Coil. It's obviously getting rotated out at some point this year, but until then, Lava Coil is being used, and Silas just isn't good enough. It's funny because ultimately I think I prefer that other red spell where it's 2 mana, deal 3, and then cycle. That seems way more useful than this. But it is what it is. It is what it is. And with that, that comes to the end of the video. Oh, wait. And given that it is what it is, I think this card can go safely into C tier. It's not. It's like, sure, like being able to do 4 damage something is like decent enough, but this doesn't do enough. But yeah, and on that note, that is us for this particular video. Really, like, IKORIA's, like, it's obviously not weighted towards the top, but currently there's an amount of good shit here that I'd be happy to open in a pack. And a lot of the stuff that I'd be less happy with are definitely all like the uncommons and commons. So that's good. It's good that the rares are being weighted towards the top. I mean, it's always going to be the case, I suppose, but there's definitely a lot here that I'd be like very happy to open, and that's good. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and made it this far, then for the love of God, please subscribe and watch the rest of the videos and click that. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's spoilers, because the stuff that is being put out today so far, holy fuck. So yeah, I guess I'll see you then, and thanks for sticking about. Catch you. Hey, so thanks for watching this video to the end, and again, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing and hitting the bell icon if you enjoyed it. And also, if you really enjoyed it, go follow us on Facebook and Twitter if you like magic memes, and go follow us on Twitch as well, where you get to watch videos like this happen live. And obviously, that means you get to interact with us as well, and we're pretty cool. You'll like us. Anyway, just thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next video.